"28-0 against FCS Northwest doesn't even feel like a win. It feels like we just sat there for 3 hours watching someone try to solve a Rubik's Cube with a hammer. I look at DT Golston at 97 overall, and I just see a guy who should be eating offensive linemen for lunch every single snap. He is the definition of stock up because the film shows he was doing exactly that. Well, the offensive line, I don't know, man. Barton at 93 is solid as a rock, but the cohesion just wasn't there yet. That's my stock down. You can't have a 93 overall tackle and still look that clunky in the opener.
See, you're looking at the grades. I'm looking at the fact that Beanie Wells had 20 carries for 116 yards. You want to talk about stock up? Put that kid's name in neon lights. He was hitting holes that weren't even there, which reminds me of this one camp I was at, right? My second year, I'm lining up against a veteran corner who looked like he'd been carved out of granite, and I swear he was just laughing at me. I ran a slant, got popped, and the ball went straight up. I didn't get that job. But watching Wells run through FCS Northwest, that's the feeling of a guy who actually knows where he's going.
You were cut because you couldn't catch a cold in a blizzard, not because the corner was granite. But back to reality, this excellence of execution mandate Jim Tressel is pushing, it's a nice phrase, but it's a total state of stagnation right now. We aren't seeing the discipline on the field yet. If we're going to talk about excellence of execution, I need to see more than just raw power from the defensive line. I need to see the scheme holding together when we hit Washington in Week 3. Right now, the arc is just sitting there. It's a placeholder until they actually prove they can execute under pressure.
It's a locker room mantra, Mike, not a statistical output. You can't measure excellence of execution on a spreadsheet yet. Jim Tressel knows what he's doing. You watch the film, you see the way they line up, that's the foundation. Speaking of foundations, this recruiting board is starting to look like a shopping list for a god. Quarterback Terrell Pryor is sitting there at the top of the board. We've got an offer out for 165 points. And if we don't land a star quarterback of that caliber, the whole offensive identity is just going to be handed to Beanie and Prey. We need that signal caller.
We need A.J. Green more than we need a quarterback right now. We've got 210 points on the table for him. You look at B. Rubisky at 93 overall, he's a fantastic target. But you give me an elite prospect like Julio Jones or Green, and now you're talking about a passing attack that actually keeps a coordinator up at night. The board is aggressive, I'll give Tressel that. He's not messing around. But until that pen hits the paper, it's all just potential and a lot of empty NIL promises. I'm skeptical until I see a signature.
Speaking of potential, let's talk about the Heisman. It's Week 1. The polls are meaningless. But if I'm looking at this roster, All-American linebacker James Laurinaitis is the only one who looks like he's playing a different sport. 7 tackles in the opener? He's all over the field. That's a linebacker who can win you a game by himself. You look at the rest of the league, you've got the usual suspects at USC and LSU, but nobody has a guy who can clean up a mess like Laurinaitis. He is the heart of that defense, and if we make a run, he's the face of it. He's a stud, no question. But a linebacker winning the Heisman in this era? You're dreaming. I want to talk about All-American defensive back Malcolm Jenkins at free safety. 89 overall, 2 years in, and he's got 335 NIL value for a reason. The guy is a technician. He doesn't just make the tackle. He forces the play to go exactly where he wants it to go. That's the kind of player who makes the rest of the defense look better than they actually are. When you have that much talent sitting in your secondary, you don't worry about the deep ball.
He's a safety, Mike. He's supposed to be a technician. You're acting like he's doing something revolutionary by covering the deep third. You know what I loved about the tape? It wasn't the stars. It was the depth. The fact that we have this much talent across the board and we're still talking about what we need to add, that's a good problem to have. We're 1-0. We've got a week to clean up the clunkiness, and Akron is coming to town. If we look like that again, I'm going to start worrying. But for now, I'm just happy we didn't drop a stinker in the opener.
fresh press. Caught my eye, got them resting stress. Two-step when you pass that way. Whole room stop like, who that, babe? Sun-kissed skin, all glow, no fear. Tell your girls, yeah, we out right here. I ain't rushed, I just move my way. Watch me slide, let the whole block sway. When you drop that bounce, I lose my mind. One more round, we gon' feel that shine. Ay, ay, ay. Hands up high, let it ride. Stay, ay. Say my name, then come over this. Ay, ay, ay. Slide through, make the whole place move. Slide through, girl, you know that groove. Back it up, in dip, let that circle loose. Slide through, yeah, you know the rules. Late night fit still alright. Gold on warm like a summer night. You talk slick, I like that tone. Got the whole front row in the zone. I don't trip, I just let it go. Watch you step when the beat gets low. Turning grand, then you hit that spin. Now the whole damn room wanna jump back in. When you drop that bounce, I lose my mind. One more round, we gon' feel that shine. Hands up high, let it ring, let it ring. Say my name, then come over this side. Slide through, make the whole place move. Slide through, girl, you know that groove. Back it up, then dip, let that circle loose. Slide through, yeah, you know the rules. Slow it down, now speed it up. Come around, then shake it up. Left, right, turn, don't even think. Ay, one more step, now make it slide. Make the whole place move. Slide through, girl, you know that groove. Back it up, let that circle loose. Slide through, yeah, you know the rules.
Running to the checker flag, running through the red light. 12 get me gun and won't pull over till I'm dead right. Riding till the sunrise, can't none by no bedtime. Ain't gon' get no bitch at ride. Billy the head fight, better know. West side Atlanta or the best style. All the way to Crenshaw, I'ma have the mind, nigga better know. Big shit, poppin' ain't no little shit. Dropping bags, it's a lot to you, to me a little bit. Let them shit before the cal in my lap. Real dope boys in the trap. The big yacht, ballin' like a big shot. Niggas on my dick, make room for your big, gotta let them know. I don't turn wrestle, I don't lip box. Solitaires, all I do is big rocks. I came from Dilly Rock, all the way to Hitchut. On the throne, bitch ain't one I'm on, she can kick rock, let her know. I'm blowing money fast, gotta know. I'm on these haters' ass. I know these niggas, man, gotta let them know. Dog, all we get it bread, I ain't never scared. Big flex on a nigga head, what I'm standing on. Business, big chick, we done did that. Pushing weird back, better give me respect and some more. Atlanta know for I was pushing for a grand or so. I was selling grand right on camera, telling hammers go. Lane speaking to me what you need a camera for. Center hitter, hitting hoes on centerfold. We just call it living. They say you live and die by your decision. Well, I'ma push it to the limit, never mind the consequences. Interfering, nigga, I'ma handle business better, let them know. On another level, my SS I put together, hit the pedal, do 200 everywhere I go. Better than I stay fly, just to show the day now. On the throne, bitch ain't one I'm on, she can kick rock, let her know. My foot up on the gas, I'm blowing money fast, let her know. I'm on these haters' ass. I know these niggas, man, better let them know. Skateboard P on the track. Louis duffel bag, big the rat. Poppin' so nauseous, I ain't got no country promo. Like I still got a pocket full of crack. All they do is fight for number.
2 games down, 2 in the win column, and somehow half of you are still acting like the sky is falling. Let's see what kind of nonsense we're dealing with today.
Mac, are you kidding me with this? We just put 41 on Akron and people are still questioning Jim Tressel? This team is absolute dynamite. Golston is a grown man out there. He's basically a one-man wrecking crew. The committee better start paying attention because this is a national title squad if I've ever seen one.
Kendo, calm down. Golston had 2 sacks. He's playing well, but we've played Akron. Let's not start printing championship banners in September. You're going to give yourself a stroke before the first conference game.
Look, I love the defense too, but what's the word on the recruiting board? We're hearing all this talk about gaining traction, but I want to know where Terrell Pryor is leaning. Every day I check the service rankings and I feel like we're being slow played. Are we actually going to get him, or are we just wasting time while he takes visits elsewhere? Avery, the recruiting board isn't a microwave, man. Jim Tressel is working his contacts. You want him to force a decision from a high school kid? Just keep watching the tape. The traction is there.
I think we need to be realistic about the roster. We've got legitimate talent with guys like Laurinaitis and Beanie Wells, but let's look at the actual offensive efficiency. Scoring against Akron is one thing, but if you look at the consistency of the offensive line, it's not quite where it needs to be for a deep run. It's a solid 2-0 start, but let's see how they handle a real Big Ten defense before we start talking about trophies.
Finally, someone with a pulse. Sam, you're ruining the fun of all these irrational takes. But yeah, you're right. The O-line is the real test. Keep your blood pressure down, everybody. We'll be back at it tomorrow.
41-14, man. I don't care who they were playing. You look at the box score and you see Boakman going 10 of 11 for over 200 yards. You know that's the kind of clean efficiency Jim Tressel has been hunting since he walked into the building. It wasn't just the arm either. You look at the way Wells was churning through those carries, 22 times for $160. That's putting the hammer down.
Yeah, it's nice when you aren't fighting for your life behind the line of scrimmage, isn't it? I remember my second year, I had this coordinator who thought every play should be a screen pass because he didn't trust us to pass protect for more than 2 seconds. Every time I got hit, it felt like I was getting folded into a pretzel. Boakman didn't take a single sack on Saturday. You tell me if that's the line or the defense being absolute trash.
I mean, Golston and Wilson were basically living in the Akron backfield all day. So let's give some credit to our guys up front before you start making jokes about pretzels again. Those two combined for 5 sacks on their own.
When you're consistently getting that kind of pressure, the offense can afford to play the game on their own terms, which is exactly how you survive a schedule that's about to get real ugly starting in Washington.
Speaking of living in a backfield, you have to give the Player of the Week to L. Wilson. 8 tackles and 3 sacks? That's a guy who showed up with a purpose. I know Golston had 2 sacks and looked like a monster, but you don't ignore 3 takedowns in one afternoon. If he's doing that against the Huskies, then maybe, just maybe, I'll stop complaining about the secondary depth.
I'm giving the runner-up to Hartline. 2 scores on 4 grabs? That's clinical. He's not doing the flashy stuff like Rybisky, but he finds the soft spot in the zone every single time. You watch his eyes, he's never panicked. It's boring, I know, but I'll take boring touchdowns over highlight reel drops any day of the week.
You're just mad because he doesn't have the NIL valuation to buy your dinner. Look, the gaining traction mandate is finally starting to look like more than just a bullet point on a slide deck. We're still heavy on the chase for Pryor in those receivers, but the intensity is shifting. Tressel is playing the long game with these kids, and while I'm impatient, I can't argue with the results we're seeing on the field.
It's not just the field, it's the checkbook. Barton and Jenkins are locking down those commitments, and the program points are moving exactly where they need to for those top-tier targets. If we land one of these elite wide receivers, the whole complexion of the class changes. We're 2-0, we're showing progress, and for once, the tape matches the hype.
Let's talk about that tape, specifically B. Wells. 89 overall as a freshman. He's playing like a vet. You watch how he sets up his blocks. He doesn't just run into the back of his guards. He has that patience where he waits for the hole to develop, and then, boom, he's gone. I've seen guys with more speed who couldn't find an open door in a hurricane, but this kid sees the field.
He's got the size and the vision, but don't get ahead of yourself. It's 2 games. Let's see what happens when the defensive fronts get heavier and the film on him gets a little more crowded. But yeah, for a first-year guy, he's keeping the chains moving, which is the only thing that keeps Jim Tressel from having an aneurysm on the sidelines. 3-0. And I'm still sitting here looking at the tape from the Washington game, trying to figure out why the hell we're still running between the tackles on 3rd and 7. Jim Tressel has these kids playing like it's 1994, which works when you're up by 3 touchdowns. But you look at the box score from Seattle and it's grinding. 20 carries for Beanie Wells, 62 yards. That is not the efficiency you want to see if you're trying to prove you're a national contender in the Big Ten. You can't just bully people forever, especially when we've got receivers like Rubisky and Hartline who can actually separate.
You are the only person on this planet who would watch a 42-21 road win and find a reason to be miserable. I was watching those same carries, and I saw a freshman back taking punishment so the clock keeps moving. I remember my second year, I had a coordinator who thought every pass play was a personal insult to his ancestors. If I caught a slant for 10 yards, he'd bench me for the next series just to teach me a lesson about ball security. You think Beanie's annoyed? I was begging for a screen pass, and this guy is drawing up ISOs into an 8-man box. You just gotta survive that stuff until the coach realizes you're not actually trying to kill him. That is not why you were benched. You were benched because you couldn't find the sticks to save your life. Anyway, the point is, Boakman was 19 for 16 with 269 through the air. You look at Ryan Small, 5 catches over 100 yards. When we actually let the quarterback throw the ball, the field opens up. Why are we allergic to that for 3 quarters? It's like we're playing scared of our own offense. I want to see the best class yet recruits coming in here and seeing a team that trusts its playmakers, not a team that's just waiting for the clock to hit 0.
Wait, did you just say 19 for 16? You're so worked up, you can't even get the math straight. You're losing it, man. Your chair is literally squeaking every time you get mad about the play calling. Listen, that Washington secondary was playing off coverage because they were terrified of getting beat deep. That's why Small had space. You want us to air it out? Fine. But if Boakman throws 2 picks because we're forcing it when we don't have to, you're going to be the first guy here calling for us to run the ball more. I know your type. You want the highlight, but you'll scream at the television the second it turns into a turnover.
I'm not asking for miracles. I'm asking for a modern offense. You look at the defensive side. D. Washington had 9 tackles. 9. He was everywhere. That's a guy who plays like he's hungry. We need more of that from the front 7. L. Wilson has been a monster with those 3 sacks in the opener, but we need consistency. You can't just show up against Akron and disappear when the competition gets real. If we want to hold on to these recruits, we have to show them that we can dominate on both sides of the ball, not just occasionally.
You're talking about consistency like it's easy, but you're forgetting that we're 3-0. Do you know how many teams would kill to be 3-0 right now? I'd take a boring win over a sexy loss any day of the week. I once had a coach tell me, after I dropped a touchdown pass, that if I ever did it again, I'd be riding the bus back to the hotel with the equipment staff. I didn't drop another pass that year, but I also didn't get another target until the final game. That's fear-based coaching, Mike. Jim Tressel isn't that guy, but he definitely wants those clock-killing drives. It's a style.
Yeah, and that style is going to get us a heart attack in the 4th quarter against a real opponent. Who showed up? I'm giving Player of the Week to Boakman. 269 passing, 1 touchdown, and he was only asked to throw 19 times. He was efficient, he was calm, and he made the throws that were there. The runner-up has to be Ryan Small. Breaking 100 yards in a game where we're supposedly playing Smash Mouth is a testament to how good he is. He's a legitimate weapon.
You're really going with the quarterback? I mean, he was fine, but he didn't even have to break a sweat. I'm going with D. Washington. 9 tackles for a corner is ridiculous. He's tackling like he's a linebacker who got lost in the secondary. That's the edge we need. You want efficiency? I want a guy who's going to stick his nose in there and pop somebody. That's real football. You give me a guy who's willing to hit like that over a guy who's padding his stats against zone coverage any day. He's the heartbeat of this defense right now.
If we're talking about that edge, you have to look at the defensive line production against Washington. V. Volston coming off the edge for 2 sacks is the kind of disruption that masks a lot of secondary issues. Stock up for that entire front, obviously. And I'll put Beanie Wells in the same column. 62 carries over 3 games is a hell of a workload for a freshman, but 6 touchdowns? You can't argue with that kind of output. The kid is eating. I'm giving a stock down to the special teams coverage unit, though. They've been loose, and against a team like Northwestern, that's going to be the difference between a comfortable Saturday and a sweat.
You're worried about special teams? My second year, we had a punter who literally couldn't clear the returner's helmet. I spent half the season just praying for a touchback because the return game was basically a suicide mission. But you're right on Wells. He's running angry. Stock down for the pass protection on those deep shots, though. Bachman is getting hit way too much for a guy who should have a clean pocket in this offense. If he gets knocked out of a game, we're back to praying for a miracle.
That pocket stability is exactly why the Best Class Yet initiative from Jim Tressel is so vital. You look at the board, we are hunting offensive line help, and we need it yesterday. The state of that arc is stagnant, man. No new movement on the high-priority targets like Shugarts this week. We are sitting on an offer list that looks good on paper, but until you see that committed tag, it's just noise. He's looking, we're waiting, and the anxiety on the boards is starting to reach a fever pitch.
The boards are always a disaster. It's the same group of people who think we're going to lose every game by 30 because a sophomore recruit decided to visit another campus. I'm looking at the Best Class Yet list, and you've got to prioritize the guys in the trenches. You win in the Big Ten with big, ugly guys who like to hit. If Jim Tressel can close on a few of these guys, that's when I'll start buying into the national talk. Until then, it's just recruiting. And recruiting doesn't put points on the board in the fourth quarter. It builds the program, Devin, which is the whole point. We've got the NIL resources allocated, $345 for Barton, $335 for Jenkins. That's serious money being moved around to keep the core together. Now we have to leverage that success into the recruiting cycle. We're deep into the bidding war for Terrell Pryor, and that's the one that's going to define this cycle. If we can call him in, the rest of the board starts falling into place. It's a chess match, and honestly, I don't think anybody has a clear read on where he's leaning right now. I mean, he's a kid. He's going to do what he wants. You think he cares about our NIL stack? He wants to be the guy. If Jim Tressel can show him a clear path to being that guy in this offense, we have a shot. But stop looking at the tracker every 5 minutes. It's like watching your bank account during a recession. You're just going to give yourself a panic attack over a high school kid's decision. I'm not panicking. I'm evaluating. There's a difference. We're 3-0, we've got Northwestern coming up, and I want to see if we can maintain this level of intensity on the road. If we win the next two, the entire narrative around this recruiting class changes. It's not just about best class yet anymore, it's about best class for a championship caliber team. You keep the winning streak, you get the recruits. It's that simple. We'll see who shows up on Saturday. That's the game. You win, you get the guys. You lose, you get the questions. I'm betting on the guys. We'll be back after the Northwestern game to see if the trenches held up. Hopefully, I don't have to talk about another punter nightmare. We'll see. Keep your head on a swivel, everybody. We're out.
That's always the first goal, right? We talk about conference championships. Winning
You know how we rock? Down south, top of the town. Let's get it. Yeah.
Dirt on my white tee, not a foreign car clean. You can't even find me. Used to have the cheap seats, now I'm in the front row seat. They were counting me out, now they gotta count me in. G, count it up. New chain, it's a D. Got the whole squad with me, moving through the city with ease. My whole squad, from the bottom of the map, put the city on my back. Never switch, never fold. That's a well-known fact. D-O-W is out, yeah, we run the town. Yeah. The mud, now we up, gold on the crown. We up now. D-O-W is out, yeah, we run the town. Run the town, now we up, gold on the crown. Better watch how you move when you walk on my turf. Watch it, talk, watch it, watch it. Talking loud on the net, in person you getting curved. They don't want a real static, it's all just theatrics. My crew full of savages, causing all that havoc. We don't do no back talking, let the money do the walking. See the haters all flocking, but we ain't never stopping, never stop. Pull up in a new whip, another checker, another flip. If you ain't with the movement, you better jet deal. Get gone. D-O-W is out, yeah, we run the town. We run the mud, now we up, gold on the ground. That's right. D-O-W is out, yeah, we run the town. The whole town, now we up, gold on the ground. It's murder. Down south, we on top forever.